Welcome back to BWO Daily, your source for news in sports entertainment and the world of professional wrestling from your boys at Busted Wide Open. My name is Nick Howell.
And I am Sir Ian Dangerous. And today we have to talk about one Logan Paul. No, he's not a professional wrestler. He is an online celebrity. He's an internet celeb. He's an influencer. And he actually challenged any other influencer to a wrestling match for $10,000. He said $10,000 to any influencer who can beat him in a wrestling match. And he, as you would expect, got a lot of legit responses because he has 5.7 million followers on Twitter. And that post alone got 52,000 likes. So a lot of people saw it because he influenced. He's an influencer. He influences. Now, this isn't just a pie-in-the-sky thing where he's just trying to get himself killed. He does have an amateur wrestling background. He wrestled in high school for the Ohio High School Athletic Association Division I Individual Championships back in 2013. So he is legit. It's not like his boxing match last November against KSI where he lost in the 6th round. No. This one he actually has a background and probably could beat some people's butts. That being said, he didn't just get responses from influencers. He got responses from real people who could kick his ass. Not only from MMA, where he got responses from Dylan Dennis, Saul Almeida, Mike Davis, among others, but the pro wrestling world, where he got responses from such wrestlers as Matt Riddle, who just said, bro.
Of course he did.
Of course he did.
Bro.
And honestly, I don't care what Division I individual championships you may have competed in. Matt Riddle will kill you.
Yes.
Dio Madden said face Mansoor in Saudi Arabia. You won't. That would be a very interesting one. Joey Janela's representative, because Joey Janela's not on social media right now, supposedly, said that they accept the challenge for Joey and would put up $10,000 back. The Pope, Elijah Burke, remember D'Angelo Dinero?
Yep.
Well, he's a former from TNA, Impact, and WWE. He used to be an amateur boxer with a record of 98-1. And he said, I'll put $15,000 against your $10,000, wrestling or boxing. Big Swole chimed in. She said, sounds like donation money to me. Lego. Summer Rae said, yes, it is I. Hello, sir. Ethan Page said, so me? Warhorse said, get ready to eat an elbow drop, jackass. Session Moth Martina, when she looked at this and saw to any influencer who can beat him in a wrestling match, she said, how about a wrestler under the influence? Ta-dum.
Ya-da-da-da-da.
Hey, Thunder Roses said, I will take your sorry ass any day. I can't tell if that's a proposition or she's saying she wants to wrestle him. And then we have some of the more interesting ones.
Colorful.
Iron Sheik, colorful. That's a way to put it. Colorful. Iron Sheik, the Iron Sheik, Sheiky Baby, said, let me know if you want me to beat the fuck out of you. And my personal favorite, New Jack. New Jack came out of the woodwork.
Who a lot of people have come to know now and didn't before from Dark Side of the Ring, and probably gives this tweet a lot more credence.
New Jack comes out of the woodwork and said, I'll kill this motherfucker.
And he will.
Which he will. He'll kill you. He will actually kill you. Just make sure it's not a scaffold match. Good Lord. So with all of us sitting here salivating over the idea of a New Jack and Logan Paul match, we're waiting to see who Logan Paul ultimately selects to have a match against. It'll probably be another internet celebrity and not a pro wrestler or MMA person because, he doesn't actually want to die. But we will wait and see who he does decide to face and if that money will end up going to charity or if the person's just going to collect it. So we'll see how that goes.
Wasn't this guy's claim to fame that he went to Japan and found a dead body or something like that?
I don't know if that was his claim to fame. He was famous before that. That was just, I think, a big stumbling block in his fame where a lot of people canceled him or didn't like him after that. That didn't work out so well from him. But he's still doing pretty well.
Yeah,
5.7 million followers. So, yeah. Logan's doing okay, I think, right now. Also doing okay in wrestling news, Jeff Cobb says he's signed somewhere. But he's not going to tell you where because he's going to wait until they say that they have signed him so that they get the spotlight.
Good for him.
He says, technically, I'm a free agent until whatever group announces that I signed. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I was going to make a decision, but then this craziness kind of happened, referring to, I assume, to the pandemic. So kind of just laying low until the company announces it, and then we'll go from there. Now remember, he did have a cameo on AEW Dynamite earlier this year where he was like the hired gun for Chris Jericho to come out and take out Moxley. That was right after his Ring of Honor contract ran out. And he still has very kind words for Ring of Honor. So it's anybody's guess.
And Ring of Honor's coming back to TV. They're putting content out, and I'm going,
Yeah. So if they're coming back, maybe he re-signed with Ring of Honor. Maybe he signed with AEW. He could have gotten a permanent contract with New Japan, although I think that's very unlikely. Yeah. Impact's definitely gunning for more talent. They're out there throwing money at people. They could probably pick him up. I wouldn't put it past WWE. There were rumors that WWE was gunning for him and was trying to get him. But it's very unlike WWE to let someone continue to wrestle and then be like, oh, wait, he actually signed with us. That being said, it's strange times and weirder things have happened. So sure. It really is one of those situations where Jeff Cobb could have signed with anybody, and there's just no way to know.
Yeah.
But he was holding out. He said he felt like the girl at the prom where he had so many comers when his contract with Ring of Honor expired. So he had a lot of options, apparently. So I'm very curious to see when it is announced where he is going. He's a big talent, and I'd love to see him do well. Because he's also a wonderful guy.
Wherever he lands, the locker room will smell that much better.
Amen. Best smelling guy in wrestling.
Yeah.
Brian Pillman Jr., speaking of people wanting to go somewhere and get signed, says his dream is to sign with AEW. Now, he's currently under contract with MLW, which is a bit of a roadblock. He's trying to get out of that contract and work with them, negotiate with them. He has been appearing on AEW, mostly as in the crowd on Dynamite or on Dark. He says he can continue to do that under the terms of his contract. But what he wants to do is get out of his MLW and sign full-time with AEW. He has also been working in OVW, lots of dubs, for Al Snow, and says it's a great environment over there. He says it's a good transitional environment. If you're in the indies, you can go there, and they have a really structured environment where you can learn what it means to be on TV and what is going to be expected of you if you go to one of these bigger companies. So if you're an indie person and you want to get better at some of the structure that's going to exist in the higher echelons of the wrestling business, OVW is a great place to go. His work there is going to be airing starting August 14th. You can go to the ovwwrestling.com. Their website has a lot of streaming. Also, they're on Roku if you want to see their product.
Nice.
But yeah, Wrestling Inc. had an interview with him, and he was just like, I want to be in AEW, period, hard, full stop.
I can't imagine anybody that's coming out of that indie scene that wouldn't want to be at this point. Seeing the success of the people that have joined, from Eddie Kingston to Warhorse to many others that have come up.
Well, Warhorse hasn't officially signed yet, but he did get exposed. But if you look at the number of indie wrestlers like Private Party,
Ricky Starks,
yeah, exactly, yeah, who are ending up there, and it's a good environment for them. The payday's obviously a lot better, and the exposure. So yeah, I think that's one of and also the environment appears to be a lot less restrictive than WWE, and WWE is still a lot of people's dream because it's WWE.
Yeah.
So, yep, that's understandable. If anyone wants to go anywhere, same thing with Jeff Cobb.
Yeah.
Speaking of AEW, as we reported earlier this week and last week, Brandi Rhodes was starting Heels, which was a women's wrestling community to enjoy AEW product. That had a bit of a rocky start because Brandi got chased off of Twitter, allegedly. She did shut down her Twitter account last Friday, the day that Heels was supposed to have a debut of a big event, because a lot of people were mad about the fact that they were debuting a women's community, social media community, at the same time that they were having 4-minute women's matches on Dynamite and then nothing the week after. And their women's tag team tournament was being shown only on YouTube. So Brandi did show back up to explain that. She said she left Twitter because right now there are other things that need her attention a lot more. She said she wanted to focus her attention on Heels and the women's tag team tournament. She said she had 200 women show up for the virtual event last Friday. That Heels is not about the money. She's not doing it because it's profitable. She says it's not. But it's about creating an environment and a community and being the bright light at the end of the tunnel in these trying times. So it does sound like her heart's in the right place with it. I truly believe that's the case. Unfortunately, it does juxtapose poorly with how the women are being presented in AEW right now.
Yeah.
So that's the only real issue there. She also said the Tag Team Tournament Cup has kept her busy as well. She says it's on YouTube. It's its own show. That means that they're trusted enough to carry their own show and don't have to be compared to the men. They're also not restricted on time, having to have matches in the middle of Dynamite, etc. So she says it's the dream scenario. It's better than finding out that they're live, something went wrong. You may only have 4 minutes to put it out there. So instead of getting squashed in on Dynamite, she says the YouTube the show is a lot better there. So
that's
they get
a fair point.
More. It is. The exposure's less, though, and that's
Sure.
the only downside. So hopefully they have like the finals or something. I don't think they do, but they should have the finals or some sort of they've had like a little teases of it existing on Dynamite with people showing up and saying, "Hey, I'm in the tag tournament," but it has been fairly minimal. But she did say it is hard, especially when you're trying to introduce new women and put that kind of pressure on them. But it's its own show, and to be able to tell those stories how they want to is a really great situation. So she's putting it over as being better at being on YouTube than being on Dynamite. Hopefully somehow, though, it funnels back into Dynamite. At least that's the hope.
Yep.
Do you think that's a good business decision, though, to like the heels and having the tag tournament on YouTube? Is that a good business decision, or is she blowing smoke here?
No, I think it is a good business decision, but I agree with you that it needs to be some kind of payoff. We've been saying on the main show a lot that they're not doing a good job of cross-pollinating what happens on Dark and being the Elite and other YouTube or social media content into Dynamite. And right. I think that's the same thing here. There's a lesson to be learned from what they've kind of failed at by bringing some of that content into Dynamite, whether it's promo packages or hypercuts or supercuts or anything like that they could bring on to drive traffic to those things. So all that we got last week was like a little lower third banner graphic.
Yeah, which they do with Dark.
Heels. So yes, I agree with you. Yeah. Have it at All Out. Have the finals or something like that at All Out next month. And make it build some stakes around it. Hey guys, on commentary, we're at commercial, but head over to YouTube, our YouTube channel, and check out the Women's Tag Team Championships.
Like what WWE is doing with Mixed Match Challenge, for example.
Bingo. Yeah, they did that on Facebook, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. We watched a lot of stuff.
Fun. Yeah, it was great. Finally today, we mentioned yesterday, Kamala has passed away, and rest in peace to Kamala. We did say that he has a GoFundMe for his funeral expenses, and as of yesterday was sitting at $1,700 out of $10,000 goal. Well, that was until some big donors came along. We had $5,000 get dropped on Kamala's funeral expenses by Chris Jericho. Scott D'Amore donated $2,500, and there was an anonymous $3,000 donation among many others. So thankfully, it looks like Kamala, his wife, will hit the goal for the GoFundMe. And he will rest in peace. So that's some very good news. And thank you to Scott D'Amore and Chris Jericho for being so magnanimous like that. It's an awesome move. Even though I know we knocked Chris for playing shows in South Dakota with no mask. Chris, you can't play both sides. Are you a heel or your face?
Now, if you told me that you took all of the money that you made off of those shows from Fozzy and that was what was donated, I would have to be like, you know what? All right, it's still not safe.
No. He should take the money from those shows and put it towards the hospital expenses of the people who catch COVID while they're watching his show.
Exactly.
But maybe that's just me.
Yeah.
Finally today, happy birthday to the Red Rooster himself, Terry Taylor. That's Shark Boy. he had a red mohawk. He's 65 today, and Fallah is 35 years old.
Wow.
So happy birthday to them. And that, Nick, is the news.
Fallah, there's a name I haven't heard in a really long time, but I definitely remember Impact. That. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you very much, Surrey and Dangerous. Thank you guys for checking out another edition of BWO Daily. Make sure you subscribe right here to the channel by pounding that big red subscribe button. Set your notifications to all so you get notified every day when we put up a new episode of BWO Daily. Also, we have made affiliate status over on Twitch, so you want to come and join us over at Twitch.
We're like the next Logan Paul's right here.
Totally, except we're not going to go to Japan and look for dead bodies. That's just not going to happen. No. We would both love to go to Japan. Maybe we will one day. But we're going to be going to watch wrestling, not in some random forest looking for dead bodies.
Will see in Japan, the only dead bodies we will see in Japan are the ones that Minoru Suzuki leaves in his wake. Just want to put that out there.
Murder Grandpa's victims is the only ones we will
see. Only ones I want to see.
But make sure you come follow us over on Twitch at twitch.tv/bustedwideopen. We'll be going live on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific for our next show covering Dynamite, NXT, and Friday Night SmackDown. You can find our links to our Discord community where we do live chats all throughout the week, as well as all of our social media down in the links below. But my name is Nick Howell. You can find me on Twitter at DataCenterDude.
And I am Sir Ian Dangerous. You can find me on Twitter at Sir Ian Dangerous.
And we will see you guys next time.